Hello, entrepreneurs. There is so much going on. So, I'm going to start this video and I feel full and there's a lot to say. Let me just tell you, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. The numbers do not lie. One of the things that will trigger an IRS audit with your taxes is whenever you report a large amount or an exact amount of income, no expenses, and everything just does not track. Okay? Everything has to make sense. There are a lot of times that we have conversations as individuals, as taxpayers, and we tend to say, oh, the government is crazy, it's stupid. It's one thing to say that, it's another thing to file returns that do not make sense. I have helped numerous clients to fix debt that they were owed to the IRS or that the IRS said that they owed. And a lot of times it's simple. It's as easy as going in and changing the return and reporting it accurately. But whenever you report it, you have to make sure you have documentation. I ran into one of the first ones where I really cannot help because the person thought they could do it themselves, and so they sent the IRS some bank statements. And while the IRS told them, hey, we're not changing our, what we decided, now they have ammunition and they could look at everything. Anytime you're doing your taxes, I realize there are a lot of you out there and you've got TurboTax down and you really think you know what you're doing. So you play around with it. And everybody knows that there is a sweet spot. The sweet spot, as they call it for refunds, is when your income hits the right level with the number of children that you have, that you get the maximum amount of earned income credit. So let's just say you make $20,000. If $20,000 is the sweet spot, there are a lot of people who will take their W-2. Oh, maybe you didn't work a lot. And you'll say, well, I did hair on the side, or I sold pickles out of my apartment, or I delivered pizza, whatever it is, something that's off the books, and you put in that amount. And you know how you do it on TurboTax. You keep playing and you keep playing with it until you get that big refund. And that's great as long as you don't get audited. Well, when you do get audited, even your side hustle, what's the responsibility for your side hustle? Have you dotted the I's and crossed the T's? And the other thing is that when you do get audited, if you get a letter from the IRS, do not delay, do not ignore. You need to respond, and you need to come with ammunition. You need to have an amended return. If they ask you for documentation to back up what you sent, then you make sure that you send exactly what they ask, no more, no less. That's why you need to have a professional. Sometimes people think, oh, I'll send this and I'll prove. You have to be careful, because while you're sending for one thing, you got to remember these are trained agents to look and to do everything. And when criminals have not been caught on murders, Al Capone led one of the biggest cartels. He was the head, reported a gangster, and he escaped all charges. And it was forensic accounting that got him charges. It was an accountant. It was somebody like me or like Ben Affleck on The Accountant, because the numbers do not lie. When you send a bank statement, the numbers do not lie. You can send the bank statement and then go, oh, well, I have some money in cash. Prove it. Remember, they do this for a living. So if you're going to do something, you need to really understand who you're dealing with. It's just like on the street. You understand, if you're out in the streets and you're hustling, you understand the people you're dealing with. If you're a teacher, you understand the students, you understand the admin that you have to report to. Every job, every occupation has its own level of scrutiny, their own vocabulary, the things that they look for. So when you guys play tax preparer and you play whatever, you're being totally disrespectful to the people who do this. And it's not even about the disrespect, but it's about the decisions you make playing around with taxes. The effect of it is for years to come. You just don't even have a clue of what you're doing. Just don't play with it. It's not worth it, because you get them in your business, you have to pay them, and they don't go away so easy. And then when you do try to do something legit, everything falls into it. It's been your girl, the Queen Bee. My heart is heavy, but I'm trying to help my people. I need you to listen, and I need you to always respect the professions. I say it all the time. I don't play with my hair. I remember when I played kitchen beautician and I tried to put tracks in. People say, "Oh, girl, I see it and I can feel it." I was pulling hair out. I got to the point I didn't have any hair on my head almost. And my mother had to literally help me grow, because that's not what I do. And I watch people derail and lose because they try to do the same thing when it comes to taxes. And you may get a few dollars, and I call a few, a couple of thousand, a few dollars, because it's gone before you know it. And once it's gone, then what do? You've messed up, you've invited and left yourself open, and there's no guarantee of anything. I'm just saying, get a professional. Let us do what we do. Make sure you ask questions. I mean, I've seen people bring me returns from H&R Block. Yes, I'm saying the name. Jackson Hewitt. Those people are people that are hired during that season. They are trained to do certain things. Sometimes they'll ask the right questions and sometimes they won't. And just because you get the results you want, you need to understand, and you need to make sure that you understand it's done right. Now, I watch people go to those big companies and they sit and they do whatever they say. And then on the flip side, they come to me and I'm explaining things to them. And I get questioned, and sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit offensive. But I don't mind answering the questions, because at the end of the day, it is your taxes and it is you who are responsible. But I just wish they would ask those questions all the time, because the chances of you suing a company slim to zero. I want somebody on my video to prove me wrong that you sued a company, because the IRS will always tell you at the end of the day it is your return, and you have to understand what has been filed on your behalf. They have a signature on file that you agreed with it. So, like I said, get a professional. Make sure that you understand. Don't try to beat the system. Y'all stay away from playing with those whole numbers. Oh, all your expenses ended up and it was exactly $5,000. Really? I only made $5,000. Really? A whole year you fed a family of 4 on $5,000. And then when you realize that won't get you anything back, because there's a certain minimum that you have to even have before you even qualify for earned income credit. We need to do better. It's been your girl. Bye-bye.